So yesterday, I was trying to tame my email inbox. I've gotten a lot of automated emails from some of the different services that we use, and I wanted to uh, basically build a list of contacts for various things. Um, and I basically just wanted to run queries on my email and treat it almost like a database. And I mentioned this to someone, and they said, well, you basically already have that with Cortex. And I realized that yes, we absolutely do. We have an integration with email mailboxes with our email monitor capability, and we have a way to uh, interact with virtually any data source, again, with the email monitor, but being able to create tickets in Halo, read tickets from Halo, or any ITSM system, being able to extend that to APIs and even just databases is not that far beyond where we are right now, where we were yesterday. And being able to tie the two together is basically what our email monitor does. But what if we flipped it around and instead of looking for incoming email and when a new email comes in, do some action for it, let's kind of combine the two and use our inbox as if it were a database, and then maybe do some interacting with it as well, perform some actions. So that's exactly what I did, and I want to show you pretty much exactly what I did yesterday and what I was able to do. Um, this is in Cortex right now. It's not shipping in Cortex 2.1, but it will be in Cortex 2.2. And if you're interested in this, come talk to us. There's links down in the video description. But I want to show you exactly what I did. So here we have, this is actually my local dev version, my dev machine. Um, but I have uh, our email monitoring capability and some of the new stuff that we've been working on, different objects. So I'm actually not going to show you the contact object because it has actual customer data in it. But what I can show you is that instead of creating a monitor, I did create a way to authenticate with my email. And instead of creating a monitor, uh, what I did was I went over to data sources, and we can actually browse data sources. So here I'm going to choose my mail, which is the name of the data source that I created. I actually created a data source here. It's a mailbox data source, called it my mail. If I go in and edit it, we can see that I chose the bparks Gmail mail account. With that, I can go down to browse. I can choose my mail, and I get a list of my mailboxes. So let's go to um, inbound forms. So this is forms that people have submitted on our website. Uh, and when someone submits that form, it sends me an email. So let's open up this first one here. We can see sent to me. And oh, look, I am interested in Cortex Mail Monitor. So this is basically a record, a virtual record built from an email. I have various properties, subject, from name, some other from information to CC. There are no CCs on this. It doesn't have any attachments. And then I get the body as text and HTML. This comes directly from the message. We're not doing any processing on this. Um, the text, the plain text version of the message is super helpful because we can do some additional processing on that in our platform, but you also have access to the body HTML if you wanted that as well. So with that, I can perform an action. So I have a few different actions here that I have created. One was uh, importing from this inbound form to a contact. So I'm not going to run it because that would run it on all the records, but let's go ahead and see what it does. Uh, an action is some piece of functionality that is composed of multiple steps. Um, and in this case, I wanted to extract the email address and I wanted to extract the name from this. this contact form. Again, if we pull up the record itself, we see there's a name, and actually at the very end of this line, there's a label that says first name. Apparently, I can't read. I put my entire name in the first name field. Oh, that's fine. And then email, and then there's an email address. So what we're going to do is get all the text after first name, and then get the first line, right? Makes sense. So if we go into the action again, look at the steps, extract the name, and it's of type update a variable because we want to do these as multiple different uh, incremental steps. Extract the name and process it, extract the email address and process it, and then we'll ultimately create a new record. So in the name step, it is of type update a variable, and we'll grab the body and then we'll modify it. So we'll get the text after, again, I said first name, and then we'll trim it. The reason for this is because first name is at the end of one line, and I don't want to get, let's say there are spaces after that. I don't want that to be the line that I get. I want to trim all white space around all the text after that initial token. So I'll trim it, and then I'll grab the first line, which is I can see from my example email, that's going to have the name on it. And then I trim that as well, just in case there's any white space at the beginning or the end, just to make my data a little bit better. Um, and then we do the same thing for email address. In this case, email addresses have an at sign, so I actually do line containing X. I don't do the trim and then the first line and then another trim. I just do line containing the at sign and then a trim. And then I create a new contact. So in this case, it's just create a business object, basically create a record in the system. I have a table that has these fields on it. And I don't really care about most of them. I care about name, email address, and source. So source, I have demo because this came from the create a demo uh, form on our website. Uh, I have a name, which I'm pulling from the variable. And to get to the variables, you just go over here and you click on one and it copies to the clipboard. And then you can paste. And there you have the token for that template. And similarly with email address, I want the email address variable. And with that, I get all of my steps set up. Again, I extract the email address, I extract the name, and I create a new record using those two pieces of information. And I can click this run button. Again, I'm not going to because I already imported all of these into my database. But clicking the run button runs this action on all of the records in my data source. Now, this demo uh, actually showed a lot of different features, some of which come from the mail monitoring side of things, some of which are actually part of our platform implementation, which is kind of something that we haven't shown a lot on the channel, but is something that we're incrementally building out. Uh, part of the part of what I showed, the saving of the record, is actually part of our platform implementation, which enables you to save data within Cortex itself. Now, there's nothing stopping you from using this interface to your mailbox and creating records in Halo or a CRM system or anything like that, just by creating another data source. Everything that I showed is very flexible, and it's basically use something containing data as a data source, run some action on some subset of records, actual like true records or virtual records, as we're doing with each email. Each email kind of becomes a record, and then interact with records in another system. So this is really fun for us. We're actively using this. I mean, Truthfully, I am using this to generate a list of, in this case, it's the list of emails that I need to the list of email addresses that I need to send a release notification to tell them that Cortex 2.1 is released. Oh, by the way, Cortex 2.1 is released. There will be a video coming out showing all of the new things that we've added to Cortex 2.1. Again, this is not specifically in Cortex 2.1, but this will be in Cortex 2.2, and we'll have some videos more specifically around that coming out soon. So hopefully this was exciting and useful. If you want to see this running on your own data, if you want to get this set up on your own mailboxes, go ahead and set up some time with us, or go look at the links down in the description to our documentation and to download the various versions of Cortex. Um, all that information is available again via the links in the description. Thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon with more exciting demos.